By the end of our lesson today, you will be able to identify, describe, and sort different polygons based on their attributes. Boys and girls, as always, do make sure that right next to you, you have a scratch piece of paper, your notebook, and a pencil. And if you have a math packet, you should also have that next to you. These resources will help you to participate in this interactive video with me. Boys and girls, before we get started, we're going to begin by reviewing the wonderful geometry vocabulary you've learned during our first 5 lessons. Boys and girls, you already know a lot, and I'm very proud of you. We're going to start by answering a couple questions on this page. First of all, what's the name of this polygon? You're right, it's a square. You will now pause the video and answer the 2 questions on this page. Is this square a parallelogram? And how many right angles does this polygon have? Wonderful. Of course you knew right away that this square was a parallelogram because it's a quadrilateral with 2 pairs of parallel sides. You also know that squares have 4 right angles. You learned all about right angles in our last lesson. So you were able to determine that this square has 4 right angles. You could have used your right angle checker or a piece of paper to test each angle. Boys and girls, there's even more that you know. You know that a polygon is a closed shape with 3 or more angles. I have another task for you. Would you please pause the video and would you write down the names of all the polygons that we've learned about over the past 5 days and their attributes? 3rd graders, which of you were able to remember the names of all of the polygons we learned about? Yes, triangles have 3 sides. Quadrilaterals have 4, pentagons have 5 sides, hexagons have 6 sides, and octagons have how many? 8. You guys also know all about sides and angles and how they're different. A side is any line segment with 2 endpoints used to form a polygon, and we know that angles are formed when 2 sides meet or come together. The corners of the shape are the angles of the shape. Last lesson, you guys learned all about right angles. Why is this angle a right angle? Precisely, this is a right angle because it's where 2 perpendicular straight lines come together. We know that parallel sides are sides that are always the exact same distance apart. They never get closer together, and they're facing the same direction. Let's review a little bit more. So you know right angles are just like the perfect corner of a square. It's where 2 perpendicular straight lines come together. So pause the video and explain why this is a right angle and this is not. Fantastic, 3rd graders. This is going to really help you today as you identify the attributes of quadrilaterals and other polygons. Yes, this is a right angle because it's just like the corner of the square. There are 2 perpendicular straight lines that meet. This is smaller than a right angle because you see that these sides don't come together straight up and straight across. Wonderful job. You also know a lot about parallelograms, and we're reviewing this because when we look at shapes and we identify its attributes, we're always going to decide, well, is the shape a parallelogram? So it's important to know what parallelograms are. Parallelograms are 4-sided shapes that have 2 pairs of parallel sides. So they're quadrilaterals. Their opposite sides are parallel. Their opposite sides are also equal. You know that the shapes on this side are parallelograms because every single side has an opposite parallel side that faces the same direction and always stays the same distance apart. These are not parallelograms because these two shapes have one pair of parallel sides, like A and C are parallel, but D and B aren't. And for a shape to be classified as a parallelogram, it must have two pairs of parallel sides. This triangle is definitely not a parallelogram. Pause the video and write down why. Exactly, it's not a parallelogram because, first of all, it's not a quadrilateral, and it doesn't have any sides that are parallel. Nice job, mathematicians. So this is your assignment for today. For today, you guys will get to look at different polygons or shapes, and you will get to describe and identify different attributes that these shapes have. We're going to do a couple together, and you'll get to do the assignment by yourself today. You are so prepared to do this work, boys and girls. Let's look at this shape first. Okay, does this shape have at least one right angle? So on this side, it will list attributes. And on this side, we will check the boxes to say whether or not it has that particular attribute. So does this polygon have at least one right angle? Well, let's check. This angle is not a right angle. Is this angle a right angle? Check the angles and determine, does this polygon have any right angles? You're exactly right, and you could have used a piece of paper to check each corner, but this polygon does not have any right angles. And the reason it doesn't have any right angles is because, look, none of the angles or none of the sides are perpendicular to each other. So I would put my X in the no box to show that this polygon doesn't have any right angles. The next question that is asked, read it with me. Does this shape have two pairs of parallel sides? Let's see. Okay, so here's one side. Is its opposite side parallel? Is it facing the same direction, and will it always stay the same distance apart? Well, yes, it has one pair. Now let's check the other pair. So does this side have an opposite side that's parallel? Yes, they're facing the same direction, and even if I extended these sides, they would always stay the same distance apart. So would I check yes or no? Does this shape have two pairs of parallel sides? I would put my X in the box that says yes so that I'm able to indicate that yes, this shape has two pairs of parallel sides. I'm going to let you guys do this one. Is this shape considered a quadrilateral? Pause the video and determine. You're exactly right. This shape is a quadrilateral because a quadrilateral is any shape with four sides. This polygon has 1, 2, 3, 4 sides. So it is classified as a quadrilateral. Which box would I put my X in? Yes, I would definitely put my X in the yes box because that indicates that, in fact, this shape is a quadrilateral. Last but not least, are all the sides an equal length? I could even use my fingers to measure these side lengths. Are they all the exact same length? Yes, they are. This side is the exact same length as this side, which is the exact same length as this side and this side. Okay, so now would be a really good time to have out your polygon resource so that you're able to classify the shape with me. Pause the video and determine the name of this shape. Oh my goodness, great job. This shape is a rhombus because it doesn't have right angles, but it is a parallelogram. It has two pairs of parallel sides, and it's a quadrilateral, and all of the sides are an equal length. I'm going to use my quadrilateral vocabulary sheet to check. Yes, a rhombus is a polygon that has four sides. It's a quadrilateral, it's a parallelogram, and all of the sides are an equal length. Let's do another one together, third graders. Okay, so we're going to look at this shape, and we're going to decide the attributes that this shape has. So boys and girls, let's start by determining, does this shape have right angles? Pause the video and determine, does this shape have at least two right angles? Yes, this shape is a rectangle. How many right angles does a rectangle have by definition? Say it out loud. It has 4. So of course this rectangle has at least 2 right angles. So I'm going to mark yes right away. Does this shape also have 2 pairs of parallel sides? Pause the video. Yes, so this side has an opposite side that's parallel. Does this side have an opposite side that's parallel or facing the same direction and always staying the same distance apart? Yes. So this shape is a shape with 2 pairs of parallel sides. The next question. It says, is the shape a parallelogram? Boys and girls, is the shape a parallelogram? Absolutely. The attribute above states that it has 2 pairs of parallel sides, and we know the name of a shape with 2 pairs of parallel sides is in fact a parallelogram. Third graders, next it asks, does this shape have all sides that are equal length? Pause the video and tell me, where would you put the X and Y? You're exactly right. For this rectangle, you know only the parallel opposite sides are equal. So these 2 sides aren't equal length, and these 2 sides aren't equal length, but not all of the sides aren't equal length. So I would mark no. Now I have a task for you guys. Pause the video and get ready to answer this question. What is the name of this shape? Wonderful. This shape is a rectangle. We're going to do one more together, and then I'm going to let you get started on your assignment. That's very similar to the work that we're doing together today. Let's look at this shape. So let's begin by determining, what is the name of this shape? Say it out loud. You're right, this shape is a pentagon because it has 5 sides and 5 angles. So in this box today, when you do the assignment, you're going to write down pentagon. You're going to type out pentagon. I know you can do it. Let's look at some of the other characteristics together, please. Does this pentagon have at least 1 right angle? Is this a right angle? Yes. Is this a right angle? Nope. Are these right angles? No. What about this angle? Is this a right angle? Yes, there are 2 perpendicular straight sides that meet. So does this pentagon have at least 1 right angle? Would you say yes or no? You're right, you would have to mark yes, because not only does it have at least 1 right angle, it has 2 right angles. Does this pentagon have at least 2 pairs of parallel sides? Remember to read the attributes very carefully, because for each polygon, the attributes change that are listed, so read them very carefully. Does this pentagon have at least 2 pairs of parallel sides? Ooh, I see that these 2 sides are parallel, so there's 1 pair. This side doesn't have a parallel partner. These don't either. So I would have to mark no, because it has only 1 pair of parallel sides. Okay, next I'm asked, is this shape a hexagon? Well, let's count the number of sides. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. No, we've already determined that it's a pentagon. So would I say yes or no? Is this shape a hexagon? No, it's a pentagon. Are all of the sides in equal length? Well, these opposite sides are equal length, but this side is much longer than this side, so no, not all of the sides are equal length.